Fuck us!
Well, good damn afternoon, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Yeah, what a way to start the show. Welcome everyone. Let's see who the F is in the comment section. The vanilla face male. What's up? Oscar Gonzalez. Diesel, what up? Username, what's going on? Sabra. That's right, Diesel. Let them know. If you don't know, about to find out. Stick around. Remember what was that? Predator? Where he threw that machete in that dude's chest and said, stick around. I wonder, somebody let me know. And if this is a thing, it wouldn't surprise me. But then again, if it's not a thing, it would surprise me. But there had to be a dude who just went with Arnold for a movie. Like he was part of Arnold's contract. Like, I got to bring, what up, Justin? He's like, I got to bring my guy with me. He's my guy. This is what my one line is. Tell him the one line is, yeah. So I think that there had to be a dude who just went with Arnold from movie to movie. And that was his one-liner guy. That's all he did. You know, Snoop Dogg has that guy that all he does is roll up blunts. All this guy does is just one-liners for Arnold. Arnold didn't want him doing anything else. He just write the one-liner of the movie. Yeah. Stick around. And then what was the other one? Knock, knock. He kicked the door in. Knock, knock. That was kind of easy. You know, the guy didn't really come up with that one, but that was another one-liner. German Shepherd, what up? I said howdy from Utah. Uncle Jericho, what up, man? Good to see you. Man. Boy, what a docket we have today. A lot of crazy shit going on. As is every week. It's just what crazy shit now. Let's see. Pete Hegseth getting some hot water from the left, of course, because he dared to serve the men and women of the armed forces steak and lobster. Is that a problem? Is that a problem to treat them once in a while? I don't know. We'll talk about it. Yeah, big. That was Doc from Fraggle Rock. And it's weird, you know somebody in one role, and it's usually like really nice, then you see him in something crazy.
Fuck us!
I bet he never said that on Fraggle Rock. Bet. I didn't see every episode, but I'll bet he didn't say that. Yeah, that was him. And that scene was from the great movie, the iconic movie. What do you call that? A cult classic? Boondock Saints. If you guys haven't seen that, who in here now has not seen Boondock Saints? If you have seen it, I don't recommend you see number 2. Holy hell. They blew it on Boondock Saints Part 2. That was a fresh pile. Like yesterday, took our dog on a walk. His name's Biggie. That was his name when we got him. He's 8 months old, almost 9 months old. And he's part, I think you actually pronounce it Caucasian. Like fucking shepherd, some big ass dog that gets like 150 pounds. And he's half German shepherd, so he's huge already. He's like 80 pounds when we got him. He's got to be close to 100 now. But we take him on a walk, and he takes a big old giant shit, of course. And so now my son, he's 10, so I don't pick up dog shit anymore. So his job is the backyard, And when we go on walks, he scoops it up. And he was like, "Ugh," yesterday. Pick it up. It was fresh right from the tap, still 98.6. And he was like, "Ugh." When he picked it up, my wife was like, "Here's a second bag. Pick up dog shit no more. Come on now." I don't do that. I don't pick up dog shit no more. I don't bring in groceries anymore. They're now getting to the age where my daughter, she's 14, so she's been old enough to get on her little electric scooter and go to the store to get stuff. That's fun too, being able to send your kids to get shit now because they're old enough. That's fun. My son helped me with mowing the lawn a few weeks ago. I told him, "This is going to be you. This is going to be you, young player, because you're 10 now. You're old enough to be cutting the grass." I'm sure I was doing more than that at 10 years old. You know what I mean? So yeah, we're ready. We're ready, grasshopper. You are ready for the next phase of your training, which is called yard work. You're doing that, buddy. I am done. Hold on, guys. I'm editing something that I thought I did before, but we'll get to it now. But I told him, I was like, "Yeah, man, this is it." And then the first thing he says is, "Dad, you make it look so easy. This is hard." Because, you got to keep a good pace. We'll get that shit done. And he's like, "No wonder you're out here sweating, Dad." Because, in the summertime, it's 100 degrees. I mean, yeah, if you can, you get out there early to get it done, but you can't do that all the time. So sometimes it'll be hot as shit out there. He's like, "Dad, this is hard." Yeah, bruh, you're gonna know. And once I teach him how to use the edger, and I'm really done. Once you've mastered the edger, because you get the lawnmower. I already showed him. You go around the outside twice. It's the first thing you do. So when you start going back and forth, you have room to turn around and it's already cut. So if you cut it twice, sometimes I'll do 3 times, give myself plenty of room to turn around. Then you start meow, 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 meow. And it's cool. Mowing the lawn is cool. I've done it 1,000 times, probably thousands of times. Same thing every time. You like to see those rows start to appear. You like to see your lines if they're straight. Sometimes you'll start doing designs and shit. You start going at an angle. You know what I mean? So yeah, he's ready. Once he gets the edger, the weed whacker, I'm all done. I'm about to retire. I'm gonna put my work gloves in the rafters. I'm gonna retire my straw dad hat. You can get them with the American flag strip going around it, your favorite football team or sports team, high school team. You know what I'm talking about? Those straw hats, I like them. Because where I live, it's hot as shit during the summer. So you're out there, during practice, football practice when it starts in the summer. Or you're out there, some flag or whatever. It's hot as shit. Every day I got them damn hats. I used to think they were ridiculous. Ha! What a fool I was. How young and stupid I was. Those hats are amazing. So I'm about to retire mine once Junior takes over lawn duties. And we've been, he helps me assemble furniture. We made a planter box for my wife. So he helped me cut the wood, measure, drill, put the screws in there. So shit. Shit. Junior is I'm about to download the knowledge like the Matrix. Tank. I need to learn how to fly a helicopter. Now I know. Yeah, Junior's about to get the Matrix downloaded information. I'm going to show you all the ways of the master, son. Not all the tricks, though. Can't teach you everything I know. Jennifer, what's up? She says, my dad used to send us to buy cigarettes. Yeah, my mom, she used to tell me when she was a kid, her aunts and uncles, parents, whoever would have her, they hand her a cigarette. She'd go to the stove and light the cigarette, take a few puffs. That's how she started smoking. Diesel says Game Changer is a sport app for teams to stream their live games. I don't know. Probably because there's like drones that film the games and shit. When they were doing tackle, I don't know about flag. William Berry, almost. I think we're about 8 years in. Started in 2018. Welcome, William. Diesel says, "Don't lose sight of the gloves, though, bro. They grow up fast." Yeah, man, I get it. You know it. And I mean, he's 10 now. My daughter's 14. It's already flown by too fast already. And now, 14, she's hanging out with her friends all the time. She's all, "Dad, I'm gonna go on a scooter ride with her friend. We're gonna go meet at the park. We're gonna go hang out. Blah blah blah." You know, in her room a lot. You know how it is if you have teenagers. My son, he's still in the mix. He still likes to hang out and, "Dad, can we play basketball? Dad, can we play catch?" So he's still all up in the living room, all up in our beeswax. It's funny because we'll go on walks and he'll, start talking. 10-year-olds love to talk. My daughter does too. She talks a lot. But he'll talk and he'll tell us about what's going on in school. And so he rode ahead of us, and there's a street that goes down and makes a big C, and he could meet us up ahead where we're walking. So he said, "Can I go this way?" And I said, "Yeah, just meet us up here." So we're walking. It gives us a time to talk, without him fucking eavesdropping and shit. So we get up there and he comes flying back on his scooter. And he's like, "Oh, no, no, no." And he's looking behind him, but I could tell it's not like something really scary. And I'm like, "What? What's going on?" He's like, "These 3 girls from school were chasing me on their scooters." And I said, "Oh, yeah, why?" He's all like, they like me. So I asked him, I said, "Do girls chase you a lot?" And he's like, he turns around, he stops his scooter, he turns around and goes, "Yeah, Dad, all the time." I said, "Really?" I said, "And what do they say when they're chasing you?" They say, "Oh, come here. Let me show you. Let me talk to you. Come here, come here." And he's like, "I just run away from them, Dad." He's like, "They're so annoying." He's like, "I don't get it." And my wife and I almost at the same time go, "You will soon." About 6th grade, he's like, "Nah." So girls are so annoying. He's like, "I'm just going to focus on football and my video games and riding my scooter." He's like, I don't like them." He's like, "They're annoying." Okay. You look down the street, about 2 blocks, you see puberty going, "Yeah, I'll see you soon, kiddo." It's so funny. He is just so not even weirded out, but just annoyed by girls. Girls are just, "Oh, leave me alone. Stop. Oh, gross." And I mentioned before, our neighbors across the street, they have a daughter who's a grade behind him, and she's a cheerleader. So she'll have her little friends over. So you'll hear them out there from the backyard. If you're out in the front of the house, you'll hear them doing their cheers and laughing and giggling and screaming and shit. Girls get together, little girls like that. If you got earplugs, use them. And he's just like, "Oh, Dad, why are they so annoying? Girls are so annoying. Why do they chase me?" He's like, "They'll just chase me, Dad, and they'll just give me a handful of candy because I don't get it." Oh boy. So I'll let you guys know. I'll keep you updated. I'll keep you abreast to the situation. I'll let you know when it turns. I will let you know when he wakes up one morning and the girls aren't annoying anymore and he's doing, well, see, that's what I start telling him now. I was like, "You don't chase them. You don't chase women. Let them chase you." I said, "You focus on your craft. You focus on what you're passionate about. When you get older, when you get out of school, you focus on your career." I said, "The women will come. Don't worry about that. Don't chase women." I said, "It's okay to be with women, have girlfriends and all that kind of stuff, but don't lose focus and start chasing them. They'll chase you." And he's a very good, not just because he's my son, but he's a very good looking kid. He's mixed and he got straight hair. Oh, shit. Watch out. Watch out. Class of 2034, 35, whatever fucking year he graduates. Watch out. He's mixed, handsome, straight hair. Let's see, go back. Diesel says, my Army vet pops introduced me to Jericho. I only follow a handful of people on YouTube or any stream platform for that matter. In 2020, oh, COVID, dun, dun, dun. Yeah, it was crazy. But everybody, it worked out for me. That's when I started my channel. Everybody was locked in the fucking house. Subscribers through the roof. It was great. William Berry says, and thanks to your pops too. William Berry says, thought you were around during 2016. Glad time didn't fly as fast as I thought. Usually it's the other way around. Tell me about it, William. Sometimes you wish Father Time would fucking use his brakes if he has any. The e-brake, please. Oh, yeah, he's a stud, Diesel. My boy. That's my boy. You're my boy, Blue. He said it can ruin his goals. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Women will always be there. Not to downgrade women or, devalue them or anything like that. But I would, I was going to say, I'd say the same thing to my daughter. Ew, I would never tell my daughter, I don't even want to talk to her about men. Are you fucking kidding me? I need to rinse my mouth out from even talking about that. But I would imagine that a mother would tell her daughter the same thing. Don't focus on a man. Men will always be there. If you're going to go to school or whatever you're going to do, but don't chase a man around. Just be a woman. Submerge yourself in your femininity and the men will come. But yeah, I just don't want him to start chasing skirts, man. Are you kidding me? Time flies, but it doesn't. Yes, it feels like it's going by slow, but next thing you come up for air, it's been 10, 15 years. So don't fuck around. You can fuck around a little bit. Don't fuck around. You know what I mean? Don't fuck around too much. Do it now. Treat life like a plate of food. Remember when you were a kid and your mom would make some vegetables you didn't like, and you eat your vegetables first so you can get it out of the way. Eat the bad shit first you don't like, and then you can focus on the rest of the meal. That's how life is for a young man. Eat your vegetables now. Work hard now. Go to school now. Grind now. When you're in your 40s, you grind until your 40s, and I'm not saying stop the grind, but you can enjoy the fruits of your grind. You keep your head down, you keep your nose to the fucking grindstone till you're in your 40s, yeah, then you've amassed something. Then you can sit back and enjoy a little bit. Enjoy your kids. You can travel, do all that kind of shit. Jesus says, my nephew is a senior, plays varsity baseball, has 2 scholarship offers, but he's in love with a girl he only started dating a few months ago. I just had a long talk with him. Stay focused. Oh, shit. What a fucking... I got a mosquito in here. Let me get my salt gun and blast that puto. Anyway, that's a tough one, man. You're up against love. You're up against hormones. You're up against puppy love. Puppy love is different than love. You're up against puppy love. It's impossible, Diesel. I got to keep it 100% organic and like real. You're nothing compared to puppy love. None of us are. None of us can combat puppy love. Remember how that felt? You were 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Remember, it was so intense. You hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. You just wanted to be around each other all the time and just be fucking intertwined and tangled in each other 24 hours a day. Yeah, give him the knowledge, drop the knowledge on him, try to plant the seed, but that dirt is, you ever try to dig into hard dirt? You'll break your tool trying to get through hard dirt. You can try though, man. William says, online naked girl content will ruin a young man. I have no clue how to prevent a young man from getting poisoned by that stuff. It's the luck of the draw, man. I mean, even without online stuff, we were still fucking, stroking the skin off of our fucking dicks. Oh, his pops passed away in September. That's fucked up, Diesel. Yeah, try to step in and like a good uncle would, fill that role, as best you can. I mean, good thing he had his pops through his childhood. He's still still a child, senior in high school, 17, 18. I mean, shit, his fucking bones haven't even hardened yet. He can't even grow a beard. And if he can, it ain't no beard. You know what I mean? Shit. That's unfortunate, man. Sure. Heart goes out to you and him and his mom and his siblings and everybody who's affected by that ripple, when somebody dies, or that shockwave that goes throughout so many lives. But man, puppy love, that's impenetrable. And you swear up and down. And what's funny is when they're young like that, they don't realize the people like their parents, their uncles, their family members, the people who really care about them. Those are the ones who they don't listen to. Like, dude, I'm trying to tell you, I've been where you are. I've been there. I felt those feelings. I know what you mean. I've had those feelings. But you gotta find out on their own. Hard head makes a soft ass. Devi, or Dev, you heard, says, got night shift today. Gonna rewatch your old videos and pass the time. Hey, good looking out, man. Hope to keep you entertained. Justin says you have to get your boy driving a van when the time is right. Time's never right for that, and you know it. Man of God says your imitation of a couple of reared kids speaking yesterday literally had me laughing out loud. Your imitations are so good. Thanks, man. Actually, I think I know what you're talking about. The video talking about Eric Swalwell, and we'll get into that too. Sending his staff to return a hearing aid to a little Colombian kid who got deported with his mama. It was actually deaf kids, but I'll take it. I'll take the laugh. Either way. So Pete Hegseth, he's in hot water. Dan Williams says, my niece went to college and came back a lesbian. True story. Fuck. What? I know what you meant, man of God. I just wasn't saying the word, but thank you. Damn, what college was that? So I don't send my daughter there. Fuck. Aaron M, what up? Say what up, JG. We're sending a few thousand troops. Anything for BB? What? We are? Get out of here. Oh, man, that's going to change the whole damn show. Damn, I just put in troops. And it finished. Looks like they lost a military plane in Iraq. No survivors. That's terrible. Let's see. It says 1 hour ago, U.S. sending more troops and warships to Middle East as Iran war rages. Let's see. More troops. Does that just mean, are they referring to the personnel that's on the ship? Because, the ships don't go by themselves. Let's see. Okay. The U.S. is deploying more troops and warships in the Middle East. As Iran steps up its attacks on the Strait of Hormuz. The Pentagon is sending a Marine Expeditionary Unit to defend against Iran. 3 U.S. officials told Wall Street Journal. Such units are typically made up of multiple warships and 5,000 troops, and the request from CENTCOM was approved directly by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. The roughly 2,500 Marines and at least one extra warship to the Middle East. The war launched. So let me see this one from USA Today. Okay. Trump says the war will end when he, quote, when I feel it in my bones. I don't know what that means. Okay. The United States is sending a 2,500 strong Marine expeditionary force to the Middle East. Okay. Okay, I don't see. So I don't see where it says like it keeps mentioning ships. Like, is it just saying are they sending the Marines on these ships? Because there's already been Navy over there. That's just been tearing up their Iran's Navy. That's who's been launching the Tomahawk missiles. They did, or they talked about, or I heard stories about there's a school over there where 168 kids were killed because it was a missile strike. So they don't know if it was from us or Iran. I guess if there was a needle, it's leaning more toward it was the U.S.'s fault. And it turns out that the school was formerly a military base and it was converted into a school. So it was part of a military base. And it was next to where they were bombing. And they're saying the school, I think Kennedy, senator from Kentucky, he was saying that it's our fault. But he says the investigation is still ongoing, but he feels like that's what happened. If so, that's, terrible. That's like another Oklahoma City bombing. Here, the 168 people died there, but in this case, it's all children, and some staff. But we'll see what happens. It's very unfortunate, but it is, sad that civilians do get killed in war. But it was formerly a military base. But we'll see what happens with that. That's terrible. University of Idaho. Okay, I won't send my daughter there. Thanks, William. So Aaron M says, yep, they confirmed 2,000 Marines and a few thousand Navy. But the Navy, they're not going to be on the ground. They're going to stay on the ship. So that's not a shocker. But the Marines, and there are Marines that are stationed on ships, but 2,000 of them, that's a lot. We'll see what's done with those. It is still within the 60 days before official war has to be declared or before it has to go through congressional approval. Nitro Fan says Trump screwed up this time. This is not going to end well. I understand that. But it is very new. We'll see how it plays out. I don't see it as like an endless war because I do believe that he's a man of his word. I don't think he's going to get us in another 20 plus year Afghanistan fucking slugfest. But even if it ends soon, that doesn't mean it's going to end well. Just because maybe it is over within the 60 days, but what does that look like? And I do believe that everything we get into, everything that we do, does have America first, and we do usually benefit from it. There are those like Aaron M., like he said, anything for Bibi, referring to Bibi Netanyahu, the president or prime minister. I don't fucking know. These other countries, some are presidents, some are prime ministers. I think it's Prime Minister Netanyahu. Anyway, the leader of Israel. And there are a lot of people out there who believe that Trump is just a puppet, if you will, for Israel, and that he's doing their bidding, and that everything we do is run through or comes from Israel first. So I don't know. German Shepherd says practically any university is going to try to turn your kids into the LGBTQ community. They'll try to indoctrinate your kids. They'll try. Hopefully you fortified their brain enough that it can withstand the onslaught of fucking college, of the leftist, liberal, granola-headed, dirt fucking tree hugger indoctrination center known as the American university. Hopefully you've given them the tools to make it through the same as you sent them in. They don't come back some blue-haired fuck. So, fake preacher Jamal Bryant gives the word that it's okay for the Negroes to come out and go back to Target. Remember, what was that? Wizard of Oz? Come out, wherever you are. Remember the good witch Glinda comes and says, come on out, little munchkins. It's okay. The wicked witch is dead. You're safe. So he came out and he said, Negroes, you may shop at Target once again, because they had a little boycott because of he organized a boycott of black folks to boycott Target because of the dismantling of their DEI program. They said, no, bring that back. Bring that back, fool. So, yeah. I'll definitely give you my opinions on that shit. That fucking charlatan storefront preacher. Charlatan. Legal alien, what's up? William says, we're committed. If we don't win, it's the end of the West. If we turn tail and run, Muslims everywhere will attack Western targets. Agreed. Yeah, we're in it now. So we got to be in it to win it. We got to crush Israel, give the people an opportunity. Hopefully they pick the right person. But let this be our last foray into the Middle East. Because we gave them an opportunity. We're beating the largest sponsor of terrorism in the Middle East. Our blood is all over their hands. So let this be the ultimate nut crushing in the Middle East, and let's be done with that fucking place. Oscar says, oh, thank you, Master. We can shop at Target again? Yes, you may. Run along, Negro. Go back to Target and give your monies. Cabs Bass. Says, hey, Jericho, longtime viewer here. Don't get to catch you often. My wife and I love you and think you're hilarious. I hope your family is thriving, and don't you ever change. Thank you. Appreciate it. Cabs Bass, Cabs Badass Bass, Cabs Ass Bass, something like that. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. And tell your lovely wife I said hello. Aaron M says, had a boomer tell me they would rather pay $20 per gallon for gas than get nuked by Iran. They really think Iran was a threat. It's one of those things that we don't know for sure, but we do know. Now here, this plays to the idea that Trump is a puppet for Israel, because there is documentation going back as far as 1980 where Trump said, Iran is a problem. We need to get rid of them. Not get rid of them, not like wipe all the people off the map, but they need to be handled. They need to be taken care of. That regime needs to go. And that was a year after the Shah took over. 1979, shit went left. So also that 1980, and then going back to 2011, I've seen tweets where he said, hey, Iran's a fucking problem. We need to do something about it. So going all the way back to 1980, that's 46 years ago, almost 50 years ago. Did Israel, put their claws in him, so to speak, back then in 1980? Did they start their plan back then? Not saying that, people don't have the long con or the long view in sight. Look at the Muslims. They're in it for the next 1,000 years if necessary. They've done that to places over the last 1,000, 2,000 years. So, not saying that's not humanly possible, but is that what happened? Did the Israelis get their claws in Trump back in 1980, or even back in 2011, 15 years ago? That's a little more feasible. 15 years ago, it's not super long, but is that what happened? Did they approach Trump or whatever and get him to do their bidding and say, all right, in 4 years, you're going to come down an escalator. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. Is that possible? Did that happen? I don't think so. I don't think that happened. Is there some of it's different once you're doing the job going on here? Maybe. But to think that Trump is like, it's hard to think of Trump as a puppet. I don't know. Oscar says Sloppy Joe and Obama gave them billions. They sure did. And they used that to, I mean, what would you do if somebody gave you $150 billion and you owned a business? You probably put it into your business. Their business is terrorism. Aaron M says, Bibi said Iraq had weapons of mass destruction. Why do we still believe him? I don't think, I mean, that's possible. George Bush was a piece of shit. And I'm not saying Bibi Netanyahu is not a piece of shit. But I think that this Iran having nukes isn't new. It's not like he's just whispering this in Trump's ear. And why didn't Obama and Sloppy Joe do something about it? Why didn't he sick them on Israel? Because you think if Trump is a puppet, fucking Biden, you could probably climb inside his body and like manipulate his body parts. Like that fool, come on. Obama too. So why didn't that happen? Aaron M says every country without central bank is getting blown up. Well, wouldn't that be some African countries next on the chopping block? Island Anderson, what up? She says, Jericho, I almost missed you, LOL. Happy Friday, Greenhouse fam. Yes, happy Friday. You made it. Pat yourselves on the back or get somebody else to pat you on your back or pat you somewhere else. Aaron M says, if Iran can't have nukes, why does Israel get to have them? There's a bunch of countries who have nukes. Israel, I think probably because Israel's not a threat to the Western world. Like Israel's on the side of the Western world, so that's probably why. Because, like you said, they have them, so why haven't they used them? If the implication is that Israel is just as nutty as Iran, then why hasn't Israel used them? I think Iran would have used them. Okay. Uber to your mom's house tonight. That's pretty funny. No more, or you're going to get fucking booted because that's stupid. Oscar, didn't Israel get nuclear technology by way of using spies? I'm sure we all did some of that. Correction, Aaron M. Correction. Every country with an economy that doesn't use central banks is getting blown up. Okay. William, Obama's energy secretary said it was Democrats' goal to make gas $15 a gallon to fight global warming. Believe that shit. I believe that. Lived it. It didn't get up to 15, but it got pretty fucking high. Pretty fucking high. Oh, and Mayor Zohan Ramadani, the mayor of New Yorkistan, he so I guess is it Ramadan right now? I don't know. But he mentions Ramadan in this clip. And he's sitting down Indian style. Can you still say that? He's sitting down Indian style in a circle with a bunch of people. And it looks like a scene from the Middle East somewhere. and they have their shoes off. They're sitting Indian style. I don't know if they're sharing a meal or what, but it's ifta. So there's a word for it. We'll see when I read the article. But I'm like, that doesn't look very American. What the fuck is that? Like, if nobody told you, you would think somebody took a picture in their house, in their living room in Dubai. Cabs Bass says, are y'all taking out loans for gas in Cali yet? Almost. Fucking selling plasma. Damn, $5 a gallon where I live, man. That's some bullshit. I saw some article. The national average is $3.64. You lucky sons of bitches. It's not even summertime yet. We're mid-March. We're not even summertime yet where they jack the fucking prices up because everybody's traveling. Aaron M says Trump will take Cuba next. Watch. What do you mean take Cuba? We haven't taken anything. What do you mean take Cuba? Cuba might want to be taken. They want some new cars and fucking Nike shoes and McDonald's and freedom. So I don't know, but we're not going to take Cuba. We can offer Cuba to become part of us. I'll probably take it. Oh, Aaron says, I mean, he will blow them up next. Why would he blow up Cuba? If Fidel Castro was still alive, I might be able to understand, but why would he blow up Cuba? He didn't blow up Venezuela. Venezuela, he didn't even kill Maduro. He could have killed that stupid fucker. And speaking of killing, I think that's really the only way to control, if you will, for lack of a better word, to control the situation in Iran. Look, man. And the dude who's in charge, is it the son of the Ayatollah who's in charge right now? Because I know they killed the Ayatollah. They killed, or the son. So Ayatollah's son, they killed his father, his mom, his wife, his son, I think his brother-in-law. They fucked his whole family up. So it should be like, look, man, you want to stay in power? Don't be a dick. Let your people decide what they want to do. If not, we're going to fuck you up. You start sponsoring terrorism again. We start seeing death to America chants in the streets. We're going to blow you the fuck up. Look at your family. Look how many flowers you got to buy every Sunday when you go down to the funeral, when you go down to the cemetery. You got to buy like 10 dozen roses because you fucked your whole family up. Do you want to join them? Then chill. Or there'll be a fucking unmanned aerial vehicle about 50,000 feet over your residence. You won't even know. You'll be in there making mint tea and you'll hear a whistle. So chill, dog. Aaron M says, I respect you a lot, JG, but I don't think you realize how deep Trump is in all the grimy shit. You know, I respect you too, Aaron, and you're probably right. You are probably right. But based on what I do know, that's what I think. That's better, Uber to your mom's house tonight. That's better. He says, let's all just start to ride bikes everywhere, and then we'll all lose weight, and then no one drives anymore because bikes took over for good. I'm down for that. Why didn't they do that during COVID? Why didn't they give everybody bikes? Why didn't they partner with Specialized or fucking Huffy? I don't know. Give everybody a bike and one of those stupid bottles of water that go in the holder that everybody loses the first day you buy the dumb bike. How about that? Why didn't you guys do that? No, get this juice in your arm that's going to give you cancer and make you pass out while you're playing sports. Aaron M says, I just want a president that's truly for us. Agreed. Oscar says, our bikes get stolen if you're in California. Yeah, if you're in the Bay Area, you don't even get a bike. It's gone. You could ride your bike, Park it in front of your house, go in the house. Ooh, I forgot something. Turn around and go back outside and your bike's gone. And in place of your bike is a pile of human shit. Not because they're like, oh, I'm gonna shit where your bike was. Probably just because it's happened so frequently that somebody came by and took a shit. Aaron M says JFK was the latest president. Who cares about us? And they killed him. He was coincidentally about to dismantle Israel's nukes. Agree. There's a lot of shit going on with that. But the same can be said about Trump. They didn't kill him. Somebody tried. Was that Iran? Was it Iran? I don't think so. Was it Israel? I don't know. But if it was Israel, then the Trump's a puppet thing falls apart. There were people who actually said Trump was in on it. Oh, Aaron says his magical ear wound. Uh-oh. Here we go. Here we go. His magical ear wound. Are you implying, Aaron M., that didn't happen? He said, wouldn't a 5.56 do more damage to an ear? Yeah. If it hit the ear, like if it were traveling this way, and I don't know if Trump's ears stick out like this. I don't know. But like if it hit, yeah, the more on the meat of the ear, yeah, it's going to fuck it up. Yeah, 5.56 does major damage. That's that dude in, was it Kenosha, Wisconsin, whatever, wherever Kyle Rittenhouse blew his fucking bicep off. Yeah, 5.56 will do some bad shit. Aaron M says he's been shot twice. Shit, man. You need to write a book. If you've been shot twice, you need to write a book, even if it was on accident. Even if you shot yourself twice, you need to write a book. He says, I've been shot. It doesn't heal in 2 weeks. Well, I mean, it depends on where. If it's an actual graze, if we're talking like Matrix, remember when Neo was doing the slow-mo bend back and he got hit like 3 times, but they grazed him. They didn't penetrate dead on it, grazed him, basically cut. Then yeah, it's possible. The earlobe, yeah, if it tears off like the tip of your earlobe, yeah, that'll heal, and I'm sure that'll be well on its way to recovery in 2 weeks. And William says, I think that it's more about keeping that oil flowing than it does Israel. I don't doubt that. I think, yes, Trump is all about the oil because Trump is all about money and business and deals and profit for America. He just took his business focus from real estate and all the things he was into to America. Same principles, profit, expansion, prosperity. It's a good point, Nitro fan. He killed a man in the audience. That bullet went through Trump's earlobe and into a guy in the audience and killed him. Did Trump agree to there? And there are people who believe this, that Trump turned like, all right, man, look, I'm going to, as soon as I say this, you shoot, but dude, don't shoot me in the head, dude. Dude, come on. That's fucking ridiculous. I don't believe that happened. I'm not saying you believe that happened, but there are people who believe that. Like this was a coordinated effort. Hit the air. Not my good ear. Love this ear. Only get good news. And this ear, shit this one. Love the ear. Beautiful ear. Only have 2. Second favorite ear. You think that's what Trump did? Right when he turned? No, there's just too many moving parts. Like Terminator said, Terminator 2, when he asked him, well, why doesn't he just become a gun and shoot him? You can only form stabbing weapons. Guns, too many complex parts, moving parts. Too many moving parts. It's too many moving parts to have Trump agree to, all right, when I turn my head, that's crazy. Aaron, and why did Trump say Epstein list was a hoax? I don't know. That doesn't mean he was on it. Bruh. Are you telling me that user, thank you, from magnificent Magnolia, Texas. Are you telling me that if Trump was on the Epstein list or was in a photo like this, if Trump was in the same photos that Bill Clinton was in the swimming pool with some bitches, or with some woman sitting on his lap that wasn't Melania or one of his other ex-wives, if they had emails between Trump and Epstein, even if Trump emailed Epstein, dear Jeffrey Epstein, you're a perverted piece of shit. Don't ever come anywhere near me. Fuck you. Sincerely, Donald J. Trump. Even if he sent him that email, ooh, see, look, they were emailed, blah, 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 blah. I turned my ringer off. Yeah. Aaron, he says Trump may have been smart enough to not be in a photo. How do you dodge the photos? Man, come on. If he's okay, he says even if Trump wasn't in it, he's still trying to cover up for people who were. Who? If the names are still coming out, that fucking what's his name? Deepak Chopra, that fucking guru, where all the people in Hollywood have their noses planted firmly in his fucking stinker. That fool was on there asking, do you have any German girls and shit? There's still a bunch of weirdos on there. There's a bunch of Jewish weirdos on there who I would think if he's working for Israel, that those would be the kind of people Israel was looking out for, being that that's where those people come from. Aaron F says, why would he say it wasn't real? To be honest with you, I've never heard Trump say it was a hoax. That's a news. I didn't know he ever said that. So I'd have to see it to read it. Like, is he bullshitting? Do I think he's lying? Do I think he's full of shit? I don't know why. When did he say that? Tumbleweeds 007. Thank you for the $5. He says, Jericho, do piece of shit lefties, I think you meant. Still cry when you hit the notification bell. Just playing. Somebody's always got to be playing this fucking comment section. Yeah, they do, man. Because that's something that shows how long that Tumbleweeds 007 has been a fan. I used to always say that. I used to always say, hit that notification bell, because every time you do, a piece of shit lefty cries. That was my spin on, remember, It's a Wonderful Life? Every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings. That's right, Zuzu. That's right. Good job, Clarence. Oh, don't get me started on that fucking movie. Every time on that end scene. Oh, shit. Zuzu's pedals. Oh, man. Anyway. I don't know, man. Aaron M., do you know MAGA means the fifth and highest degree in the Church of Satan? I didn't know that. I don't know. That doesn't mean shit to me. Could that be a coincidence? I don't know. Do I think that Trump, like, how can I work the fifth level of Satanism into my slogan? I don't even know. I don't give shit like that much thought. Do I know that Jared Kushner bought 666 Fifth Avenue above asking price? Dude, to be honest, I don't give a fuck about that. I don't want to follow the conspiracy rabbit hole that far. I don't give a fuck about that. The Real Destinant says Rumble is way better than YouTube because Rumble doesn't censor right-wing freedom of speech. Yeah, Rumble is better in that sense, but Rumble, like, you almost have to already be a big fish to make it over there. I was on Rumble for a long time. I still have an account there, but it just wasn't growing. Oscar Gonzalez says, was Trump born on the full moon during the age of Aquarius? Aaron M., did you know Trump's spiritual advisor is Paula White, a woman pastor who told her congregation to watch porn? I didn't know that. What does that mean, though? Does that mean that Trump is telling us to tell our kids to watch porn? I don't fucking know. I'm done. No more rabbit hole conspiracy theories about Trump. Let's see. Eric Swalwell, that little piece of shit. Lucky for you guys. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Because he is the front runner to become the next governor of California. Because Gavin Newsom has basically timed out. He can't run anymore. So that fucker's out of the way. So Eric Swalwell is the front runner to be governor of California. I was going to say, lucky for you guys, he's California's problem. But if he becomes the governor of California, he'll be the nation's problem, just like Gavin Newsom was in his bullshit, letting millions upon millions of illegals into this country, and don't think they're going to stay inside the borders of California. No. They're spreading out. They're fanning out across America. Eric Swalwell is no better. There was a family that was deported from Hayward, that's a city in the Bay. And the mom, she had been here. She had an order of removal since 2024. She finally got deported by ICE, and they took her two sons with her, 4 and 6. And I think it's a 6-year-old who's deaf. And so ICE, according to Swalwell, thank you, BJ Blazkowicz. He had a tough time in school. So I guess in ICE's haste to remove this kid and his family, the little boy lost possession of his hearing aid. Wouldn't that be the mom's job? Anyway, lost his hearing aid. They went to Colombia, got deported. I'm not even sure. How does Eric Swalwell, a California congressman, even find out that some fucking kid who got deported with his mom doesn't have his hearing aid? Anyway, he gets wind, or they create this whole bullshit that the kid doesn't have his hearing aid. So Eric Swalwell is like, well, I'm going to make sure that little turd gets his hearing aid back. And never mind, the deaf children in my district. But I'm going to make sure this little Colombian kid who's no longer in America gets his hearing aid back. So he sent staff down to Colombia to hand deliver a hearing aid to a little boy.
As we stand here, my staff has just landed in Colombia and is placing the hearing devices back in the boy's ear. He was able to do that with the help of the community who rallied to get his devices and personal belongings. So I thank my staff and I thank the community for coming together. We are also working with the Families Council on returning the family back to the United States under what's called humanitarian parole, so he can return to his school for the deaf, which is where he belongs.
Oh, so he can return to his school for the deaf, where he belongs. Do you think they've heard about his absence? Thank you. I'll be here all week. Be sure to try the veal. That was ridiculous. That was a waste of money. Why would you do that? Why would you how much did that cost? To buy a plane ticket for that person or them, however many people you sent, to give a fucking hearing aid back to this little boy? You have nothing better to do than send your staff to deliver a hearing aid to a 6-year-old little deaf kid. Oh, Jericho, but he's deaf and he got deported. So, how many deaf people they send to jail every day? They don't give a shit about American citizens. You think he'd have his staff hand deliver something to your sorry little American child? I know why they went to Colombia. Damn, that's why they went. That's why they went. They landed in Colombia. They were like, hey, don't you guys want to get over here and give the little boy his hearing aid? Yeah, hearing aid. That's why we came. Okay. But he wasn't done, guys. In the beginning, the first part, He tugged on your heartstrings. We need to get that little boy back to his school for the deaf where he belongs. Side note, there's no school for the deaf in Colombia. But now, that was nice, Eric. Now you guys better get ready for tough Eric.
But let's be clear. If you want to deport a cartel boss, everyone here will help you pack their bags. But if you're coming for a 6-year-old, you have to go through us.
You have to go through us. Ooh, what a tough threat. Isn't that one of the tougher threats you've ever heard? If you want to deport a 6-year-old boy, you have to go through us. Come here, go through me. No, me first. Go through me. Yeah, right. This is why everybody goes to Colombia. He was like, bring some back for me. Don't you dare come back here empty-handed. Bring back some of that get up and go powder for Poppy. Piece of shit. Speaking of California pieces of shit, one of the biggest pieces of shit to ever come out of California, she's Indian, she's black, she's a whore. I'm talking about Kamala, the Ugandan nightmare Harris. What happened? What did she do now? Did she fall on her face drunk outside of a bar somewhere? Not yet. But she is on her book tour. Hey, 107 days. Probably took her longer to write the book than she was running for president. Could you imagine if we had Kamala? I don't even want to say it. But she's on her nationwide book tour, showing the world how tough it was for her to put a campaign together in 107 days. And she's coming home. That's right, guys. She's coming home to Commiefornia. This is her home state. Remember, she lived in Berkeley, in her neighborhood with her firefighter neighbor and her doctor neighbor and her construction worker neighbor and her teacher neighbor and her garbage man neighbor, and they love their lawns. Remember that neighborhood she lived in that only happens in a TV sitcom? Well, she's back home. You would think this would be the state where she gets the most thunderous applause. This is your home. You too good for your home, you stupid ball? To not get a hero's welcome when you come home? She's been off to battle. She's been fighting the great orange reincarnation of Hitler himself. He's racist. He's a bigot. He's a sexist. He's a monster. He wants to trample on the Constitution and rip democracy from our grasp. She's been out there fighting a fire-breathing dragon when she comes home worn out and tattered from her battle. Her face blackened from the soot of his flame. The streets will be lined with her admirers. Kamala, Kamala. They'll be throwing Zoloft pills and boxes of Franzia wine at her as she drives by. Kamala, Kamala. Did that happen? That's what I expect. Channel 10, roll it.
New this morning, questions about why Kamala Harris' speaking event in California has been canceled. The former vice president had stops scheduled for the beginning of April in Sacramento, San Diego, and Anaheim. But Ticketmaster's website now says they're canceled by the event organizer over a scheduling conflict. Anyone who already bought tickets should receive a refund within 3 weeks. We are reaching out to Harris' team for more details on why the events were canceled.
Uh-oh. So not quite, not quite a hero's welcome. No welcome at all because she's not coming. How shitty is your book doing, Kamala, to where you canceled the home state leg of your tour? This is the culmination. This is how you finish strong. Bring it on home. and you canceled it? So is California racist now? Or are the people in the other states who didn't buy her book enough to make her book popular enough to continue the tour, are they racist? Because she's a black woman, number one. So if you don't support her in everything she says, you know what you are. She was the first Indian senator, but she's black. Very confusing. But she was vice president. She ran for president. She's a black woman. Heyo. She's a lawyer. Why didn't you guys support her? It's fucked up. You guys need to look inside. You need to look inside at your little gnarled racist black heart. Start supporting Kamala. Go out and buy her book right now, so she can revamp. She can breathe life into her California tour. Definitely not Hunter Batista, says Willie Brown's chew toy. I would say she's more of like Willie Brown's crusty gym sock, if you will. BJ Blaskovich Gaming says, I don't feel no ways tired. That was Hillary Clinton. This is not a place where you are going to make fun of who should have been our president in 2016, you sexist piece of shit. Speaking of a piece of shit, let's check in with New York's latest leader, New York City. New York City, buddy, New York City, buddy. New Yorkistan. Let's see. Let's find out when this bullshit is. When is Ramadan? Okay, so yeah, it is now. Let's see. With the first day fasting on Wednesday, it goes through March 19th. So they're coming up on the end of Ramadan. And I remember being overseas in the Persian Gulf. We couldn't eat or drink in the daytime, like in front of people. If you wanted to go somewhere, you had to go to like one of the Americanized spots and be indoors because they couldn't eat from sun down to sun up. Or they could eat from sundown to sun up. Basically, daylight time, no eating during the day until the sun goes down. That's pretty much all I know about it. But one other thing I know about it is it's not American. It's not Christian. This is a Christian country. That's not what we do. So to see this inside City Hall in New York City was pretty crazy. Not surprising, but crazy.
The reason that I love Ramadan so much is for everything else that it means, for the time of reflection, the time of focus, and really a time where you understand yourself as part of something larger than just as an individual. And even just having you all here today, even just sitting on the floor, the transformation of a space that I've only ever known in one way, frankly, it is a gift. And it's a real joy to have you all here.
Sorry about that. Last video. I didn't mean to click on that last video. Sorry about that. But yeah, that was Mayor Zohan Ramadani. That's why I call him Ramadani. And that was inside City Hall in New York City. That was not inside somebody's living room in Dubai. That was inside of City Hall in New York City, inside the state of New York, inside the country of the United States of America. You can see the flag behind him. So you know it's in America. What the fuck is that, New York City? You got him turning City Hall into a third world bazaar. I'm surprised there weren't piles of different spices and silk around him. I'm surprised there weren't street vendors and cooked meats in the open air. Surprised you didn't hear that in the fucking distance. The hell was that? And you hear him, that's a Ramadan is so important to me. Listen to what he tries to sell this bullshit.
The reason that I love Ramadan so much is for everything else that it means, for the time of reflection, the time of focus, and really a time where you understand yourself as part of something larger than just as an individual. And even just having you all here today, even just sitting on the floor, the transformation of a space that I've only ever known in one way, frankly, it is a gift. And it's a real joy to have you all here.
Sorry, that video. Man. But yeah, oh, it's a time of reflection and, inner beauty. Like, nah, don't sell me that bullshit. Skip to the part where they tell you it's okay to kill people that don't believe that nonsense. How about you tell me that part? How about you skip to the part where it tells me it's okay to marry my siblings and my first cousin and have babies and have fucking Goonie babies? Hey, you guys! The mayor of New York City is sitting Indian style with no shoes on in his office, celebrating Ramadan, a Muslim holiday in the country of the United States, the state of New York, the city of New York. I want to make you lightheaded. Okay. Let's get to this sumbitch right here. Fake ass preacher. A few things I hate more than a fake ass preacher. Somebody who's up there to take money, take advantage, get the women, the jewelry, the notoriety, the power. That's what a fake ass preacher does. And that's what this guy is. He's the he's the replacement for Jesse Jackson, except he's more radical. He's better funded, and he is bent over gladly with his anus agape. Like he just bends over and takes both hands and just yanks that fucking stinker wide open for the establishment to just crawl up in there to the bristle. He loves it. The kind of paycheck this piece of shit is getting. Those suits and those fancy cars aren't going to buy themselves. Yeah, there he is. Old Slick Willie Jamal Bryant. Coming to take your cash and exploit your black ass. Love it. Hold on a second. Look up something real quick. So, was it 2 years ago? Yeah, 2 years ago, there's a boycott. Oh, wow. Hold on a second. Ooh-wee. Hold on. So this is Jamal Bryant's wife. And there was a bit of controversy, if you will, because of this dress that she was wearing. It's we'll get to that. But on this boycott thing, I don't want this shit. Why are you changing, man? I don't know what just happened there. Anyway, Jamal Bryant, like 2 years ago, I believe it was. And we'll go to the root.com because this is the most left-leaning, progressive, pro-black victimhood bullshit news website you've ever seen in your life. So it says the Target boycott is over, but the fight isn't. Leaders reveal progress and work ahead. The Root spoke exclusively with Pastor Jamal Bryant, Tamika Mallory, and Nina Turner about how the black community held a major corporation accountable. Can't hold the local school board accountable, but you can hold fucking Target accountable. Good job. It says, 1 year. 1 year after black consumers decided to take a stand against Target's reversal of diversity, equity, and inclusion commitments to the black community, the leaders of the Target fast boycott have gathered in the nation's capital today to update the country on the success of the mission. Although the fast may be over, they believe the company still has work to do. Okay, they spoke with Jamal Bryant of New Birth Missionary Baptist Church, Tamika D. Mallory, activist and co-founder of Until Freedom, and Nina Bryant, former Democratic state senator from Ohio and founder of We Are Somebody, about the impact of black consumers cutting ties with Target and what is next. During this press conference, boycott leaders provided an update on ongoing discussions with Target executives who acknowledged the impact of loss of black consumers had on their bottom line. As various reports suggest, the Target fast cost the company more than $12 billion in market value. Pastor Bryant said the loss brought Target to the table, telling us that watching the black community flex its cooperative economic muscle in the face of a corporate giant, the greatest joy of the journey. What a fucking waste. So it says Target's answer to the loss of black customers came with the deployment of the belonging at the bullseye strategy, which replaced the company's previous DEI strategy, which was cut due to pressure from the White House. The company also pledged another $100 million to black-owned businesses, in addition to the $2 billion it pledged in 2020 following the death of George Floyd. Bryant confirmed that Target has fulfilled 97% of its original commitment. So let's see, there's some big numbers floating around here. The company also pledged another $100 million to black-owned businesses in addition to the $2 billion they pledged in 2020. So from this boycott here with Jamal storefront shiesty charlatan preacher Bryant, you got $100 million pledged to black-owned businesses. Now, who's going to take that? Is this going to come in the form of a big giant publishers clearinghouse check? Who's going to distribute $100 million? Are you just going to have these black-owned businesses get in touch with Target? Hey, prove to me you're a black-owned business. You get a cut. Are these Black-owned businesses pre-approved by this council of the Target Fast that we were told about? What's it called? What was that again? Huh? Let's see. The Target Fast boycott. So the leaders of the Target Fast boycott, Pastor Dr. Jamal Bryant, Tamika D. Mallory, or Nina Bryant, who of these three, who of this council are going to distribute $100 million? And are these businesses that are approved for this $100 million, are they in any way owned by these three people? Do they have a stake in it? Is it owned by their nephew or their sister or their daughter or something? What's their connection to these Black businesses who are going to have $100 million spread amongst them? Who is making sure that the $100 million gets from Target's wallet to these Black businesses' wallets? Just wondering. And what other group of people has this? So they just coordinated this and somehow let Black people know don't go here? Who anointed them? How do they get the word out to Black folks to do this? Who are they to say stop? I remember my dad, when I was a little kid, back when people used to read the newspaper, and he was reading some article and it was some kind of race pimping shit that Jesse Jackson was trying to pull. And I remember him going off on how he's not a representative for Black folks and who the hell appointed him, and I don't need somebody representing me. I do remember my dad flipping out about that. So this has been going on for a long time. But I just don't understand who I don't understand. Who anoints these people? Who is he to tell Black folks you can shop at Target? Man, this shit is so stupid. Black folks got much bigger problems than fucking Target's DEI program being repealed. That's what you fools organize over? That's what you get all these high-class people together about? Fucking Target? Fatherless homes, broken homes, violent homes, filthy homes, malnourished homes, poor education, violence, murder, poor health. The list goes on. And you decide to pick a fight with Target over some DEI horse shit that not even Target is serious about. And these dumbass woke Negroes see this as some kind of fucking win, as some kind of victory. This is a money grab. This is out of the Jesse Jackson playbook. They did the same shit to Coca-Cola. Jesse Jackson, Coca-Cola boycott. In 1981, Reverend Jesse Jackson and Operation Push led a successful boycott of Coca-Cola, demanding increased economic opportunities for Black Americans. The campaign, which featured the slogan, "Don't choke on Coke," resulted in a $30 million agreement to increase Black-owned distributors' banking and marketing roles. The cause. Jesse Jackson argued that despite high sales in the Black community, aka Black folks like Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola lacked black representation on its board and management. Action. The boycott lasted approximately 1 month and was characterized by New York Times as having, along with other similar campaigns, a significant impact on corporate policy. The agreement, Coca-Cola agreed to appoint a black board member, increase deposits in black-owned banks, hire more black managers, and use black-owned ad agencies. All this money floating around, and you think these fools aren't getting a cut? You think they're being benevolent? You think they're doing this because they want to see the black community do better? Jesse Jackson did the same shit. They do it because it works. That was in 1981. That was 45 years ago. Still works. Works just as good in 2026 as it did in 1981. What can you think of that works just as good, if not better, 45 years later? Your house can't do that. You can't do that. I'm 45 years old. I'm not better than I was. I don't know. 1981, I was 1 year old. But what can you name that works even better after 45 years? Not much. But racism does. Race pimping. Race pandering does. Fuck out of here. It's a money grab. This fool got his hands on $100 million. Disguising it as progress for the... How is it progress? I got a black-owned business. Where's my check? I'm black. This is my business. Where's my money, Target? Fucking clowns. Good old Pete Hegseth, guys. Good old Pete. What did he do? That's why I chose a thumbnail. People are upset about this. People are upset that Pete Hegseth serves steak and lobster to the men and women of the armed forces. This is nothing new. Uh-oh, Newsweek. Pete Hegseth spent millions on steak, crab legs, and lobster. What a piece of shit. The Pentagon. The Pentagon spent millions of dollars on luxury food items, consumer electronics, and other discretionary purchases in the final month of the last fiscal year, according to a new analysis by the government spending watchdog, Open Books. The report found that the Department of Defense, headed by Secretary of Defense, it's actually Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, spent $93.4 billion on grants and contracts in September 2025, the largest single month total ever recorded. According to the analysis, the Defense Department spent $2 million on Alaskan king crab and $6.9 million on lobster tails in September of 2025 alone. The same month also saw $15.1 million spent on ribeye steak alongside purchases of salmon and other food items. Fuck, what an asshole. What to know? Open Books reported that $50.1 billion of September total was spent in the final 5 working days of the fiscal fucking year. So wait a minute. You guys are mad that he's buying crab legs, steak, and lobster and electronics and shit. But you're okay with them buying or spending their money on titty and dick and ball removal surgeries. That's okay. We'll cut those off for you, but you better not cut a steak. Ribeye, shit. When I was in the Navy, if you went to the mess decks and you saw that they were serving steak and lobster, you knew you were about to get fucked. you knew there was about to be an early reveille, and reveille is when you wake up, that's your wake up call, and you knew there was going to be you were going to work a late night. There were a few times where we would work until like 10 at night, and you have to get up at like 3:30 in the morning because we had to unwrap, we had to replenish ships. We'd be on station at like 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, still dark outside. So usually, you know, if we went down, and we ain't talking no Peter Luger's Ruth's Chris steaks. We're talking some shit that, it's steak and it's lobster. This ain't no dipped in butter fucking slow motion Red Lobster commercial. Fuck that. But it was technically steak and lobster, but good for them. I'd much rather see our money spent on quality food than having somebody cut their perfectly good titties off. Oscar Bonilla says that ain't shit compared to the estimated $9 billion of fraud in Minnesota. Yeah, do your story on that. Why don't you guys pull your news vans up in Minnesota and then move over to California? You want to see some real abuse of funds. Spending it on making the armed forces life a little bit better, the armed forces members' lives a little bit better via food. Yeah, I'm okay with that. You guys can eat a ribeye dick. How about that? So people, I gotta go pick my daughter up from school. So that's what I'll do. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for your comments, your questions, your manis. I will be back next Friday to do this all over again and talk about the wild, crazy ass shit that has been happening in this world next week. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. I'm out.